Hi, welcome. Of the over 100 possible peri and postmenopause symptoms, there are several that are downright gross, and I'm pretty positive not a single woman experiencing them is happy about it. They're awkward, yucky, embarrassing, and upsetting all at the same time. Let's talk about 7 of them. The first is body odor. I remember thinking as a child that older women smelled differently, and now that I'm one of those older women, it makes perfect sense to me. Shifts to estrogen and testosterone, changes to the composition of sweat, high stress, anxiety, and hot flashes in menopause can all contribute and leave you smelling a little funky and really self-conscious. I've been lucky enough to dodge the funky odor to date. At least no one's ever told me I smell odd, but I know it can still catch up to me. Fingers crossed it doesn't. If you're able to use HRT, it can help replace lost estrogen and regulate sebum production and sweat. There's also a brand of body deodorants targeted to women that many ladies in my support group say works very well for body odor. I haven't tried it myself though, so I can't personally say whether it works well or not. I'm sure many of you know exactly which brand I'm referring to. If you don't, you're welcome to ask me about it in the comments. Antibacterial cleansers, good diet choices, and stress reduction may also help. Number 2 is excessive gas. It's not so bad, even though it's annoying, when it comes in the form of frequent burping. But when it's constantly slipping out the lower end, it's a different story. I have so many ladies asking me how to get a handle on the ridiculous amount of uncontrollable wind that keeps escaping from them now that they're peri and postmenopausal, because it's happening frequently and randomly, and there's often no stopping it. When estrogen drops, it slows digestion and changes the microbiome, and it can really affect the digestive tract and cause some very gross and embarrassing side effects. Working on improving gut health through diet choices and pre-pro and postbiotics can really make a difference. Regular exercise to stimulate digestion and move gas along, stress management, and rebalancing hormones can all help too. Next is bad breath. I have to really stay on top of my dental hygiene now, or I can tell my breath is less than fresh. I also have burning mouth syndrome and mild dry mouth, which I know contribute. Declining estrogen causes dryness and decreases in saliva production, which leave the mouth at greater risk for developing more bacteria, hence the bad breath. And fun fact, can also cause changes in taste and cause foods to taste weird or different. If you're also dealing with this gross and upsetting symptom, be sure to brush your teeth daily and don't forget your tongue. Chewing sugar-free gum can also help by increasing saliva production, which washes away bacteria. Mouthwash can help occasionally as well, but make sure it's alcohol-free or it might make dryness worse. Apparently drinking green tea helps fight mouth bacteria too, which is great news for me because I drink it daily. Number 4 is excessive sweating. I'm so lucky to have avoided this symptom so far. I overheat or freeze off and on, but I haven't been hit with the excessive sweating yet. I'm talking wet clothing, sweat dripping down your face events. Very gross, uncomfortable, and honestly super embarrassing if it strikes during the day and in public. It's mostly thanks to low estrogen's effects on the hypothalamus messing with the body's internal thermostat. HRT can help regulate body temperature again, but it's not for everyone. Keeping the heat down by avoiding triggers like caffeine and spicy food, keeping your environment cool, and taming stress and anxiety can all help as well. Next is incontinence. Gross, frustrating, upsetting, and embarrassing all at the same time. It's horrible for those dealing with leaks in varying degrees. Changes to the pelvic floor, prolapses, vaginal atrophy, and thinning of the urethra can all contribute and make it very hard to hold your bladder when it's full or when you're coughing, sneezing, laughing, jumping, and so on. I've been lucky so far, but I don't chance walking around with a full bladder. The fear of accidents can actually heighten anxiety. Always making sure there's a washroom available while at the same time hoping you never have to use a public toilet. Avoiding being out for long periods of time. Making sure you have an empty bladder before leaving the house. And trying not to drink anything while you're out are habits that are very common in menopause. I'm guilty of a couple myself. Pelvic floor therapy, bladder retraining, Vaginal estrogen, getting help with prolapses, and in some cases medication can help with issues with leaking and bladder control. Number 6 is postnasal drip and a constant runny nose. I deal with this one and it is so gross, highly frustrating, and annoying. My nose is always dripping down my face and the back of my throat. I'm constantly blowing my nose, clearing my throat, and having the occasional coughing fit when saliva decides to slide down my throat the wrong way. I wouldn't dare leave the house without tissues in my purse, or I risk an embarrassing moment in public. This can be due to increases in inflammation, allergies, histamine, and dryness, and can be very challenging to get a hold of. I know my drippy faucet nose is persistent. Herbal teas, steam, hydration, pinpointing triggers and allergies, saline rinses, and in some cases, decongestants and antihistamines can help. Number 7 is flooding. This is both terrifying and gross at the same time. Peri periods are frequently chaotic, and super crazy heavy bleeding is often part of that peri mess. It can make you fear for your health, but it's also often just a yucky, horrible peri experience that I don't wish on anyone. It often occurs when periods have skipped several months and the lining of the uterus is overly thick and built up. It can also cause extended periods. I once had a month-long period shortly before mine left for good. Keeping up with gynae checks is very important to make sure that it's perimenopause and not another condition causing flooding, and to monitor your iron levels. I'm sure there are other symptoms that fall into the gross category that I haven't thought of. If you think of one I missed, add it in the comments. I wish health, happiness, and peace of body and mind for each of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.